Also, so we've heard our journey, we've heard people, we've had those who made our dreams possible. And then of course there's the man who's been dreaming all of these dreams. I'm going to request Divyanshu to come up. What Tony said, you know, when we look at blind people, they're only supposed to sing. Believe me, this man made me sing. And I don't sing to save my life, I could never sing. In the Bangalore metro, that was his idea, by the way, we sang, he and I, and Tum To Theere Pardesi. I mean, don't even ask, believe me, I've never been, I so wanted not to be seen. That was the time I envied him, his not being able to see the most. Okay, there are a lot of other times too, but that time I completely hated him because he couldn't see the reactions and I could. Two of us in the Bangalore metro, the man with a fantastic Louis Philippe shirt, formal wear because we were both out from work, we in a fancy Tassa sari, both of us carrying fancy laptops, fancy bags. And the man decides, bag and all is great, we don't have money to buy booze, let's sing. And we sang Tum To Theere Pardesi in metros. So yes, blind people do sing, but this is a blind man who dreams too and makes those dreams possible. Going to give it over to Divyanshu to share with you what do we have as a vision ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, Divyanshu Ganatra.
So, I've been warned 10 times, time was running late, so, sorry boss, you don't get to speak, so I know I'm in the way of you and all the interactions amongst all the lovely people over dinner, but I really want 5 minutes of your time, is that okay?
Yeah.
So, there are a ton of things I want to say, there are a ton of things I thought I would say, and then listening to everybody, I have forgotten everything I wanted to say. But first of all, this beautiful lady, Aparna, who's been holding this stage together, I think you need to know a little bit about her. And I don't know, many might know, she's quite famous, but many might not know the fact that about 12 years ago, I've known her since then. There was a time when she ended up in a wheelchair. And from crutches, she went down to ending up in a wheelchair. Doctor said, this is your life, this is how you're going to end up, because you have a brittle, your bones are breaking, and that's how it's going to be. And she decides that's not how she wants to live her life. Against medical advice, she decides to take charge of her own life, starts to build muscle, starts to strengthen her muscles, starts to try and walk again, starts to run, does a 3 kilometer, celebrates that achievement, does a 10 kilometer, celebrates, runs a 21 kilometer, runs a full marathon, goes on to running an ultra marathon, which is about 125 kilometers. Then decides, okay, let me get on a cycle, and cycles all the way to Goa.
From Pune?
From Pune, yes, all the way. And after that was not enough, 2 years ago, at the young age of 48, sorry, I don't know it bad. She summited Mount Everest from the north side. And the 2 reasons I'm sharing this. One, that this can happen to any one of us. Disability is extremely inclusive. Very open community, very open. It does not say you're Hindu, Muslim, rich, poor, this, that. You might have a big daddy in the upper world, underworld. It's very open and accepting and can happen to anybody. So there are only two kinds of people. People who have a disability and people who haven't found out about their disability yet. And the second reason I shared this is because of that all that it takes really is mindset. That's all that it really takes. And the reason why we're doing this, the reason why we continue to sweat and bleed and do all these things is simple. That through this, we want to create a world that's more inclusive. We dream of a world that's more inclusive. And we dream of a world where we will learn to celebrate our differences. Because that's what this world needs. A little bit more empathy and the ability to celebrate differences. And that's the journey that we have been on, and that's the journey we all have been on. And people in this room today are part of our community. We all are part of the same community. And I really, really thank each and every one of you for being part of this journey, for being part of this community, for becoming champions of inclusion. Because we really see that world very, very clearly. And that world is and will be possible with each one of you as individuals doing what you can do within your capacity towards social change. When so many of you came and started playing together, none of you knew persons with disability. And today a lot of you have more friends with disability than anybody. So the next dream, the next big dream, the picture I have is of a rocket. You know, when a rocket gets launched, it has boosters and they get ignited in stages, right? And after a while, when it reaches a certain stage, the first stage boosters are let go because they run out of fuel, right? And then the second stage boosters are lit. I think the past 3 years has been like that. Where now it's time for us to light the second stage boosters. We've done enough of groundwork to demonstrate the proof of the pudding. We put money where our mouth is and demonstrated that this really works. But now we really got to escape the Earth's gravitational pull. We really have to get into that escape velocity. We really have to work much harder in the next coming years to be able to build an ecosystem, to be able to scale this up, to be able to take this to millions of people out there. And for that, we need every bit of support. And I'm counting on each one of you. They said it very nicely, very, very politically correct when they said I'm persistent. What they meant was I'm extremely stubborn. So I'm counting on each one of you, and I'm going to come knocking on each one of your doors. So together we can. And the other good news that I have to share is we had also dreamt of a space, of our own space, to create India's first accessible outdoor adventure center. And that dream is a reality today. We should be in that space celebrating next year, where everybody can do outdoor adventure sports as equals and independently. So, hope to have you all roll up your sleeves and make sure we have this place ready by next year for all of us to experience. Thank you so much once again. Each and everyone. Thank you. And I think it would be unfair to get off stage without thanking my family and my friends, my parents, for whom I'm completely invisible now. I think I really, really would like to take this moment to thank my mom and dad, because I'm really, really not being able to be there. To my friends who just know that I exist. But thank you for being so supportive. Thank you to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Divyanshu.